College baseball's opening weekend here on Perfect Game TV. There is no more gorgeous spot in America, especially this time of year, than the white sands of Panama City Beach and this incredible complex, the public sports complex. Versatile, certainly, not just baseball, but it's all baseball now, as all the acreage being used. One of the grand JUCO teams in the land is Chipola, the Indians, yet Eastern Florida's off to an incredible perfect start to the year. They're dominating this tournament. When you speak of Chipola, you're speaking of a team that has multiple JUCO World Series championships, winning it in 07, in 17, and in 18. 19 overall wins and a .670 winning percentage at the JUCO World Series. This is a very strong program coached by Jeff Johnson. Many Division I players, when they want to shift things around, find their way to Chipola. There's the weather. It's gorgeous as the sun starts to go down. He's Steve Phillips. What a great analyst. What a great speaker of the game, building major league teams throughout his career as a general manager. My name is Darren Sutton. And Steve, it's been fun because the energy's been palpable. These clubs have been dying to get out and play. They start a couple of weeks ahead of Division I, which I think is kind of cool for all these athletes, and they're playing Division I caliber baseball for sure.
Oh, they certainly are. This tournament brings out the best of all of them as they kick off their seasons. And for both these teams, big hopes and aspirations for 2025.
That's Chipola, as we talked about. 8 players returning from last year's team, which is rare. That's rare in junior college baseball. Students, about 2,200 you can see, and they've got a beautiful facility there. I know Steve will get into some of the history and some of the unique names that have come out of Chipola. Again, many athletes, if they don't find the perfect fit, they find their way from a Division I to Chipola. Michael Mullinax, keep an eye on him. He's a freshman. He made this choice from Georgia after getting limited playing time and finding his way to the right spot. He's a perfect game All-American. So many talented athletes. Seguin added late. That's a late added shortstop. Jeff Johnson is a legend, a Hall of Fame coach, and certainly at Chipola, he stayed. Many D1s have tried to pull him away. They treat him great there at Chipola, and he's home in Marianna, Florida. Jeff Johnson, the head coach of Chipola. A friend of Perfect Games, certainly, and a friend to all of us who cover the game. So there is the starting lineup for Chipola. Well, we're ready to roll, and this is a good thing as Chipola swings at first. Kenneth Robinson is on the mound, the sophomore, Hollins High School, previous school. You can see last season, well, those are good numbers. He logged 70 and a third, a freshman year, a really sparkling 2.70 ERA.
Impressive numbers for sure. And, now a chance to build and grow upon that. So the scouts that are here who saw him a year ago are now going to look at the development. What has he done? What work has he put in? Where has he improved? Because that's some part of the vision as they close their eyes and dream about what he can be in the future, basing upon the development over the last year or so.
He's a Tampa commit. He is from that part of the world, Seminole, Florida, Hollins High School. As we mentioned, Ralph Rogers was his high school coach. He walked off the mound for a moment. I think he's going to change his spikes. And a lot of times when you have the mound that comes on and off the field like that, you make the decision, do I want plastic, do I want turf, do I want regular spikes? Again, both these teams, very strong teams in the world of junior college baseball, nationally known. And when you think about, what this has been, this event, you see a team like Chipola coming in the preseason poll in the 3 spot. Northwest Florida is here. Florence Darlington has a chance to play their way into the championship game. At this point, they're 2-0. They're playing in this event as well. So many great teams. Wabash made it here from Illinois as you look a little bit further down. So that's what makes this event so great. I love me some Central Arizona at 20. Always have enjoyed that program down by Casa Grande in the great state of Arizona. Tyler, Texas, and of course, College of Southern Nevada, Folsom Lake. Remember, California, if you think of a Folsom Lake or a Saddleback, which is in Orange County at number 38, those teams don't participate in California only in the Junior College World Series. It makes it unique. They have their own championship game. Steve, it's always been that way. California kind of their own country when it speaks to junior college baseball.
And, an opportunity for scouts to evaluate players out there and maybe a chance for some of the other players around the country to even get more of a look as well. So looking forward to this one.
Yeah, this is going to be a good one. So Kenneth Robinson, a commit to go to Division II Tampa. He'd love to win the Junior College World Series this year, then win a D2 World Series for Coach Urso at Tampa, the National Coach of the Year, Coach Urso at Tampa last year. Here we go. Let's play. This is Luke Williams, the center fielder. Boy, we're glad, Steve and I, that you were with us, and that is a fastball right down the middle. And that is strike one, and we are off and rolling. Luke Williams out of Tuscaloosa, Alabama, a transfer from the Crimson Tide.
Let's go, Kenny.
You know, so many of these young men, they go to a Division I school, they don't get the opportunity, and they realize they need to play to improve. And so, just to get this opportunity to get 70, 80 games in this season, a big step in their development.
Nice little changeup, floats right over the outside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count to Luke Williams. Hillcrest High School grad. Mark Garner was his high school coach. Wants to get his body weight up this year, about 15 more pounds, so add some strength. And that's tough to do. Once you get to the season, Steve, that's tough to add that weight.
It is. It really is. I mean, you're going to try to get in the weight room, but the grind of the season, classes as well. I mean, you got to get in the classroom and do your work there, too. So a lot of demands and time, but you got to budget that time to make the most of it.
Boy, good life on everything he throws. Good arm side run, fastball, changeup, similar profile as far as the way they move. Williams' mom is Erica, dad is Trent. Dad played college baseball. That one is rolled out toward third, stepping back behind the bag, settling and shooting on across the diamond. The third baseman, Jason Mack. One away.
Well, Kenneth Robinson, one of those pitchers pitching from the stretch, as we've seen. And so even with nobody on base.
And he'll do so against Michael Mullinex, a perfect game All-American. Number 1 overall junior college prospect in the nation. He makes this choice to move swiftly into professional baseball. He hopes he can hold up to who he is. We've enjoyed him, as Steve mentioned, dealing with that pitcher working out of the stretch. We've enjoyed his journey as a high school player. Really good family, always quality to work with. When you get to be a top 50 player, we ask a lot of you. We tell a lot of stories about you. And Mullinex has been great with all of us. Two 2-0 the count. A couple of years ago, Steve, we saw Cam Collier make the choice to come from high school to go to junior college. Played that time at junior college, then found himself as a high draft pick of the Cincinnati Reds, where now he's one of their top prospects, was a Chipola alum. And Mullinex wants to follow that same type path. From Canton, Georgia, went to North Cobb Christian School. David and Trish, his parents. And he's a 2-time state champ. And now he's on number 55 as he heads to first, Michael Mullinex.
Good patience at the plate. He always got that front foot down and got himself in hitting position and able to read the pitch and ready to launch. If he got something to hit, he'll take the base on balls.
Miguel Hugas takes a breaking ball that dives down and in. 1-0 the count to Miguel. From Pittsburgh. See what he did last year. A couple of home runs and 15 runs batted in. A lot more responsibility this year. He graduated as a pitcher. I mean, Perfect Game saw him as a primary pitcher, played some in the outfield. Now with a bat in his hands, he is, if he's going to grow, will in all likelihood do so as a hitter, as a position player. He was actually a top 50 pitcher in the country amongst all right-handed pitchers.
Wow.
Up to 94. But he got to the outfield and he threw it 102 at a PG event. He had big exit velocity, too. Looks plenty hitterish to me, Steve Phillips.
He sure does. He looks like a position player, I can tell you that. So let him be a good position player with a strong arm.
Nice job playing that one on a hop. Hugas, in the win over Pearl River Community College earlier today, was 1 for 3, had a run scored, drove in a run as well. Right up on top of that plate, and he takes high.
Robinson actually has some pretty quick feet with his move over to first base, and so I think he has shown his best move so far, and so we'll see whether or not Mullenix can get a read and a jump.
Making him throw a strike, showing bunt just to watch it. Best fastball to this point, 91 miles an hour from Robinson. Runner was on the move. Slow roller, not an easy play. Head first slide. Boy, and a great effort there, just in time to get him. Wow, nice play. Ryan Cerrone, the second baseman.
I like starting the runner there in this situation, and about a 15 hopper right there, but Cerrone having to get over and have a quick release to Mendez at first base to get the diving play there and get Hugas out.
Quick visit, quick conversation, everything cleared up. The call went their way defensively. Not quite sure maybe what they were talking about, but all's well that ends well. J.C. Vanek. Owen won the count on J.C. Lake Charles, Louisiana. Played for the legendary coach Glenn Caccini at Barb. Fights that one off to the left side. That one is down for a base hit. They'll send the runner on the round. Here's the throw to the plate. It is cut off, and the run scores. Now you see Hugas running around the bases. That's maybe what they were chatting about. That one ended up getting overturned. Hugas was on. Vanek picks up a base hit the other way.
Oh, he was safe at first base, huh? All right,
yes.
So they ended up getting the throw home here. And I think if they had cut it, Mack, and actually thrown it home, they might have still had a shot at getting Mullenix at home plate.
Agreed, yeah. Hugas had peeled off and headed back toward the dugout. Must have told him, hey, man, with that head first slide, you might have lost your setting there. You're safe. Now they're aggressive on the base pads. Steal a third. Chipola needs a win. They need some help if they want to play in the championship game. Should Eastern Florida State win this game, they're in. They'll be in. They're already 2-0. They've opened up an 18-0 score against their opponents. 2 9-0 victories. What are we talking about here, Steve?
Well, just calm down a little bit right now. Let's go get the hitter. Not get worked up right now. Get yourself in the zone. I mean, talking some confidence right here. Don't worry about the base runners either. You got to go attack the hitter right now.
It's Mitch Gallagher. He came out to have that conversation. You got Mitch Gallagher, who comes to Eastern Florida State after playing at Pepperdine. Tyson Ellis, an assistant coach on this team as well. Steve Brown is the head coach of Eastern Florida State. Southern California native who found his way to the east coast of Florida, in and out of the catcher's mitt. Sam Parker. Twins' 19th round pick back in 2023. He pulls his hands in on that changeup. Gives it a ride out to right field. Closing the gap is Jeff Davis. He makes a nice play, but the run come on down. Turned out Hugas was safe, and that was good news because once they called him safe at first, he's come on around to score on a sac fly.
Yeah, good job by Sam Parker understanding what he needs to do, right? Man on third, less than 2 outs. I just want to lift the ball, get it in the air, and that's what he does. He doesn't have to hit it out of the ballpark, but get it in the air, hits it out to right field right there. Nice job by Jeff Davis running it down, but they get the run in.
Colin Guerra, first pitch swinging, rolls it up the first base line and rolls it foul. Yeah, I'm excited to see Sam play a little bit more When he graduated, this was a top 10 first baseman in the country. I remember big power from him. Still young, just 20 years old. Sam 6'5", 225. Again, was at Mizzou, now at Chipola. I can't wait to talk a little bit more about him, but now it's Colin Guerra. 0-1 the count on Colin. Did he on that breaking ball? Did not. Well, that's a good-looking pitch, though.
Got to trust your catcher with a man on third base, throwing the breaking ball, that he'll be in a position to be able to knock it down. If you start it in the zone, break it out of the zone and bounce it.
Calling from Olathe, Kansas. Wait for the TG D-backs, building champions, a couple of travel teams. As that one is lifted foul up the left side. Colin's mom is Christy. Dad is Lennon. Both parents were runners in college. Dad was an All-American, and by the way, his brother plays baseball for Chip Hale at the University of Arizona. His brother Ethan. In and out of the catcher's mitt. Oh, boy. Blocks a beautiful pitch in the dirt and then couldn't hang on to a rising fastball. Chipola grabs another run. Tough break.
Yeah, tough break. And listen, right now, Kenneth Robinson just a little erratic, trying to overthrow some. And when you do that, your mechanics get out of whack, the release point gets out of sync, and you can let it sail.
Breaking ball just missed. Denver Dangerfield is behind home plate. Todd Odell, our base umpire. Another walk. Walk, single. Another single, then a sac fly. And now one more free pass. A pair of walks in this inning. Robinson has made the most of this opportunity at Eastern Florida State. He only had 2 offers, period, coming out of high school. Had a good year last year. Good take on a changeup. Josiah Seguin. Runner goes, and he bluffed. He'll head on back. Seguin out of Glen Allen, Virginia. Went to Deep Run High School. James and Kanitha, his parents. Snuck a fastball by him on 2-0.
I think something to learn there. I would go back up top right there. It was tough for Seguin to catch up to that one.
Three and 1 the count. Command not his friend. Not so far anyway. Seguin, a big Lindor guy, loves watching Francisco hit. He went back to that same spot and he beat him, Steve. You talked about it. Fastball tough to handle, but not before. It was a big inning for Chipola. They know they need to win and then get some help to move on to tomorrow's title game. Put some big numbers on early. Vanek with an RBI. Parker with an RBI, 3-0.
To have to be strong.
I believe you gotta rise before you can shine. That there is no agony worse than defeat.
The question is, does he have the bat speed? Does he have what it takes?
And an angel watches over me.
And swinging. Just keep swinging. Just keep swinging.
I believe this will all be worth it.
They used to call them Brevard Community College. Many remember that school in Cocoa, Florida. Bottom line, they're a school that's been to the JUCO World Series a couple of times. In 86 and 89, they brought home 4 wins in those 2 trips. Haven't won it all, but that's ultimately the goal with this deep program. They're trailing by a score of 3-0. They have crushed so far in their first couple against big school, by the way. Look at the student body. That's a large school for a Florida junior college. 10 players returning from last year, a season that's had them just a smidge above 500. They expect to go about plus 10 minimum on that win total this year for the team that they have built. With Kevin Smith at the top, Bo Tabola, Mendez, Cerrone, Davis, Past, Jackson, Mack, and Vera, the starting lineup. Stephen Brown is the head coach, as we said. He played his college baseball, Brown did, out west at Orange Coast Community College. And he is from Huntington Beach, California. Trenton Lape is a Louisiana native. He is a freshman. Another pretty well-traveled, perfect game player that we're used to watching work. And so now, like this deep Chipola team, Lape gets a chance to show who he is early on. Went to Parkway High School, was a 2023 grad. Travis and Sarah, his parents. And Kevin Smith is the first batter that will try to help this team climb out of a hole. Kevin from Port St. Lucie, Florida. The talent to be a center fielder or a middle infielder. We wait, we pause. Look like we might have had an equipment malfunction here. Either that or they're digitally sending in the pitches, one or the other. All right, all is well. Garrett Harper has that catcher's mitt back together. We might have some audio issues. We trust you can still hear us, or at least hope so. We apologize if, in fact, you can't. We'll get it locked in. Good fastball. Hello, that's how you start the game. Nice, lively swing and a miss. Strike 1.
Yeah, good fastball. Beat him inside a little bit right there. See if he starts to look for that pitch this time and cheat a little bit to try to catch up to it.
And went back to it and just took it right out of the catcher's mitt. Good location, knee-high, outer half. First pitch he threw, Kevin Smith, 94 miles an hour. Kevin Smith dealing with that right arm of Trenton Lape, 94. First 2 pitches, 94. And there's a breaking ball, never got there.
Now, did I hear properly? You said he was from Port St. Lucie, Florida?
That's correct.
Right, all right. Home of the New York Mets spring training facility.
Late reaction on that breaking ball. And the man out of Port St. Lucie goes down on strikes. Kevin Smith. That was a breaking ball up, but again, we talked about that earlier. Just the change in speeds fooled him.
And he had a little bit late break to that pitch, too. It had some late break to it, even though it was up in the zone.
Steve, it was 16 miles an hour slower than the previous fastballs. That'll help, too.
Sure will.
Bo Tabola. Bowen, his given name, from Colorado, Castle Rock, Colorado, Western Carolina University transfer. Wants to find a new Division I program where he plans to play. Would love to be a pro someday. All of these men would love to be a pro someday at this point. Just off the plate. Laura and Toby, Bo's parents. Got a pair of sisters and a brother at home. His mom, a college athlete. How about a gymnast at Cornell?
Wow, and intelligent, too. Cornell, an Ivy League school.
Yes. Smart and an athlete.
Yeah.
And, Dad, I'm not overlooking you.
No.
Played football at Western Carolina.
All right. There you go.
The
Bring the
Cornell
toughness,
gymnastics
too.
thing, though, caught my eye first. Wouldn't that catch your eye first?
Yeah, I mean, because you are, big with backflips and that sort of thing, and you can do like a triple sow cow off the uneven bars or something like that.
Yeah, I like the Yurchenko vault.
Yeah, or something like that.
2-2 the count on Bo Tabola. Changed up on him. Down he goes. That was an uncomfortable flailing swing. That means it was a good pitch.
Beautiful, beautiful changeup right there. Very good pitch. After that fastball coming in hard, going with the changeup away, and that thing just dove off the plate. That's an outstanding pitch.
Every fastball 93, 4 in a row at 93 miles an hour. Then the changeup is what got him. Runs that fastball up and away. Gustavo Mendez. By the way, the changeup, 84 miles an hour.
Yeah, tough to cover those velocities, right? 10 miles per hour separating them.
Mendez out of Kissimmee, Florida. 2-0 the count. Son of Elena and Carlos. Spins in strike one. This is another athletic appearing pitcher.
Yeah, for sure. Big, strong frame.
Dropped his elbow a little bit below that one. 3-1 the count.
Boy, what a beautiful setting to play tonight. The sky looks spectacular there in the background. And special moments for these guys to play.
That tells me something about that fastball, that was a 3-1 swing.
Yeah, that's got some life to it for sure. I mean, of the pitches we've seen today and yesterday, it's the best fastball that we've seen.
And living 92 to 94 consistently. As he pounds that one into the turf out front of home plate. Gustavo Mendez. Three, 2. Bouncing ball out towards short. Seguin charges, fields, and fires in time for the out. A pair of strikeouts and then a ground ball out. Trenton late. Good stuff. As the sun says goodbye for this day, this complex under the kisses of the sunshine all day long has been just beautiful. Great energy out here with some of the best junior college teams in the country, scouts everywhere. Some Division I coaches, recruiting coordinators on hand to watch too, as they are a couple of weeks away from opening their season. So there's just a really great vibe, and we're glad to be a part of it. Kind of a reset inning, Steve, isn't it, for Kenneth Robinson?
Yeah, I think going into the dugout, catching his breath a little bit, and then refocusing on his attack. And it's got to be about working ahead. Get strike one. And if he can work his secondary stuff over to get strike one, it opens up the at-bat and keeps the hitters guessing. And so, but really important for him to work ahead right now. This lineup really came up swinging.
You're a freshman, one of the best programs in the country. You're a catcher, and you're the starting catcher. And that's high honor for Garrett Harper, who bats in the 8th spot to lead things off. Harper out of Tallahassee, Florida. Also can play on the corner of the infield at first and third. Just off the plate, 1-1 the count to the man who played his travel ball with the 5-star program. One and two.
Well, that's the way to get back in the zone right there. Throwing strikes, working ahead. Now the idea with that slider, start it on the corner and then break it off the plate to get him to chase.
Chokes up on the bat. Look at that approach. Didn't matter. Zipped a good fastball right by him. I know the reaction tells this story, but that's the best pitch he's thrown.
It is, and it may have been that Harper was thinking slider and then got the fastball, and he was behind it. Just couldn't quite catch up to it. Tried to pull his hands through and cut across his body with it. Go down and think about it for the next at-bat.
89 miles an hour. It played about 93 with all that was going on, so a really good pitch. And as Steve said, the earlier secondary pitch, a very important part of setting that up. Nick Croce is the third baseman. He finds his way south down to Chipola from New York. To Pine Bush High School in Bush, New York.
I like that Robinson at least trying to use his secondary stuff to get hitters off the fastball.
Pretty darn good pitch.
Yeah,
Not a lot you
I
do
like
if
that
you
he
swing at it, so a nice take,
Darren,
3-1 the count.
He doubled up on it, too, which I was good with, even on 2-1. But now it's a fastball count and probably going to get a fastball pitch.
Yeah, that was an elevated, different than the look of that two-seamer a pitch ago. So Nick is on, the son of Amy and Joe, the New Yorker. Dad played some college baseball, an all-state selection twice. Croce in the state of New York, and that's doing something with the amount of athletes that are playing baseball in New York. Back to Luke Williams, who's late on that one. 0-1 the count. Luke rounded out to third back in the first inning. Hit a two-hopper to the left side where Jason Mack turned it into an out.
I think, Darren, it's so interesting about Chipola, their lineup. So they have 13 right-handed hitters, 8 left-handed hitters, and 5 switch hitters. So the 5 switch hitters and 8 left-handed bats seem to be a focus for this lineup.
Nice job showing that one behind the plate. Nice frame job by Chipola. Yeah, great point, too. I mean, all those switch hitters, all the left-handed bats. We all get excited about left-handed hitting middle infielders and catchers and center fielders. We know that. That's a common excitement that all of us baseball people have. We can't always tell you why.
Well, that's what I was. I was a left-handed hitting middle infielder. But let's put it this way. I hit left-handed, but I wasn't left-handed hitting. I just hit left-handed.
Come on, Steve
Not a lot
Phillips.
of hitting going on.
Don't aw shucks me. You earned a paycheck to play baseball for a bit, right?
Yeah, for 7 years.
Well, okay then. Come on now. You know better than that, don't we, listening to Steve Phillips, a 7-year pro. Ooh, good take on a snapdragon breaking ball just off the plate. PG ranked this man 11th in the state of Alabama overall. 2-2 the count, talking about the hitter Williams.
He's shown good plate discipline and the ability to fight off some pitches as well.
Really good football player in high school, too. Drops the bat head on it and shoots right through the hole. You know, the body leaked out a little bit, but the hand's strong enough to just stay level through the zone, and a base hit for Luke.
Well, the infield in double play position, so second baseman Ryan Cerrone a little over toward the bag and able to find it through the hole right there with Croce being held on first base. He finds the hole.
Yeah, it didn't hit that hard. It had hopped a couple of times by the time it went through, but as you said, perfect spot. We may see a new arm, a new look early in the season, just trying to get everybody their work in. David Morrissey gets the call. Hey, the high school season kicks off in style later on. The SoCal Showdown, Southern California, some of the very best players in the country, the nation's #1 team, Corona High School for the first time. This 2-week tournament, we have it. Broadcast live. Join us from Corona, California on February 22nd. It's the SoCal Showdown, only on Perfect Game TV. Go ahead and get the app right there. Hit that QR code. SoCal Showdown. It'll be good to go to my original home and call some high school baseball. Excited about that. David Morrissey's a sophomore. Galley High School, where Prince Fielder went to high school. 33 2/3, about a strikeout per inning last year.
Tall, loose, lanky left-hander. You know, once you get a year under your belt and the year of development, strength and conditioning, you're working with pitching coaches on mechanics and delivery and some analytics coming into it and the shape of breaking pitches. And you know, it could make a completely different turnaround from one year to the next for a lot of these young guys.
David played his travel ball for Upper Deck. His high school coach was Bob Collins. Jessica and Michael, his parents. And his older brother is Drew. And he loves watching Chris Sale, especially last year. Well, that one firm, got him right in the spikes. Talented PG All-American Michael Mullinax has been walked and now hit by a pitch. Bases loaded, 1 out.
Keeping the pressure on for sure. They came right out of the gate with 3 runs in the first inning with all kinds of pressure on Eastern Florida, and now they're continuing that here. Bases loaded, 1 out.
Miguel's time now. And he goes to work. Pitch right on the hands, and that one, boy, ended up doing a couple of spins. It had such a funky action on it because it really tied him up. It almost looked like Gustavo ran past it, then tried to run back and get it.
Yeah, Hugas now new life right here, right? I mean, you know, a ball that maybe could have been played, but now new life. Base is loaded. Got a chance to see a pitch. And just down 0-1 in the count.
That's another one of those switch hitters you were talking about. What good breaking ball, but it's in and off the plate. Good tight break to it. Miguel from Pittsburgh. Shaler Area High School. He's a top 500 JUCO prospect for sure. He rolls that one foul. And you can take a look at this two-way player who will still get up on the mound and pitch. See that he is ranked 130th amongst every player at the junior college ranks in the country. Line drive the other way. Beautiful approach into right center field. That throw toward the plate. The run scores easily. Nothing Kevin Smith could do. couple of runs score. Croce and Williams all on a beautiful swing by Hugas.
Really like this two-strike approach. You know, didn't try to do too much, just short and quick to the ball to make contact. Remember, bases loaded, you want to put the ball in play. You want to make something happen. Even if it's a productive out, you're going to get a run in. And he drives in 2 with the base hit because he didn't try to do too much. Just looked to hit it over the second baseman's head, and he did it quite well.
J.C. Vanek bunts that one foul. Runners on first and second. I don't know if the bunt sign was given. Maybe dropping one down for hit. You know the sign I'm going to give? Driving the gap. I don't want you bunting. Driving the gap.
No, you're my cleanup hitter right here. Swing that thing away. Hit it in the gap.
Glenn Caccini, his high school coach, wouldn't have wanted him bunting. That's not how they do things at Barb High School. By the way, he wants to be a physical therapist someday. That is the profession where JC will take his skills, his passions, and he, of course, hopes professional baseball lasts a long time for him and that it's an option. JC on a line, diving attempt. It's a base hit center field. Another opportunity to fire that baseball home. And all the way around on that throw toward the plate. Good base running, picking up the baseball, by the way.
Yeah, it was a great effort on that play, and diving effort on it just gets beyond the reach right there. Good effort right there, but the base hit drives in a run, and they keep the onslaught going.
Base is full. Hugas is at second. Mullinax, I think, stopped at third. He did. So base is full. Big Sam Parker. We talked about him earlier. Given name Samuel Parker. Home, Marietta, Georgia. Kennesaw Mountain High School. Powerful left-handed hitter. Another one of those top 500. Yeah, another one of those top fly JUCO prospects. Shot. Base hit right field. That'll plate 1 and possibly 2. That's exactly what occurs. Both Mullinax and Hugas score. There's that strength of Sam Parker as he has 3 RBIs already tonight.
Good swing right there. He's a big man, and I'll tell you what, he get that low ball in the zone, and he could do some damage with it. He drove it into right field.
It is the Chipola kind of night, and this is kind of punching away a little bit at the standings. And one of the big keys, if you're talking about Eastern Florida State, should they rally in this game for tiebreakers, top 2 teams in the standings at the end of day today, is runs allowed. They came in not allowing any runs in their first 2 games. They've allowed 7 runs in their first inning and a third. This Chipola team they have arrived ready to rock and roll. Chipola lost in their opener 4-2 to John Logan. And they beat Pearl River 7-1. Right in on the hand, skips up over the mound. Stepping on top of the bag and firing on the first, safe. So they get Parker.
That was such a slow roller there. It just couldn't turn the double play on it. So Bryce Jackson laid back, and I think the only chance they would have had was do or die. Go get that thing, quick flip to second to see if Cerrone could turn it. But when he waited for the ball to get the force at second, it took away the double play possibility.
And J.C. Vanek scores, making it 8-0. Josiah Seguin earlier today was 0 for 3 with the strikeout in that game against Pearl River. Against John Logan, had the same result. So he's hunting his first hit in this event. Popped out to the second baseman back in the first inning, and he gets hit by a pitch. Well, game 3, not kind at all to Eastern Florida State.
No, and, listen, you get, the depth of pitching gets tested in these kind of tournaments, especially this early in the year where you don't want anybody to be out there for that long. You don't want to throw too many pitches early on. And so you're given some looks and some opportunities. But the deeper you get, you're throwing your aces early on. And you got guys that are further developing, getting some opportunities here. But that depth can be tested for sure.
All right, Garrett Harper now. Harper opened up this inning. He struck out. He's excited to get another chance. My old broadcast partner for many, many years on television, Mark Grace, always used to tell stories about he and his mates having big innings like this. And he said more than once, more than a dozen times I can remember having innings like this and making both outs in the inning.
Oh, yeah, me too.
When
Absolutely.
in fact everyone else had hits and we scored 8. That's what we're hoping doesn't happen.
Yeah,
for Garrett
I'm with
Harper.
you. It's just maybe it's you. Whoever's paired up with you, that's the problem they have. I think you might be the problem here. I did the same thing. When everybody had hits, I didn't. When we get 3 hits in a game, I'd get all 3 hits. And it meant nothing.
2-0 the count. Runner takes off. Snap throw down to third. Got him. He got him. Not quite sure what the thought process was there, but being aggressive ends up being the costly choice, but not without a whole bunch of success in this inning. 5 runs, 10 batters, and all sorts of success. Ugas with an RBI, Parker with an RBI, Guerra with an RBI. 8-0, Chipola.
I need all the wins, yeah. Ain't no way gotta get a no call to quits, yeah. Gotta keep on moving no matter how hard it gets, yeah. Better move out the way cause I'm coming with harder hits. My hand is as hard as a brick, but I'm harder than all of this. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out.
I'm in the big leagues, told her don't miss me. Ballin' like Houston, ayy, feeling like Whitney. I gotta go, dog. I'm riding the road, y'all. I think that I'm back in my bag now. So I need that go, y'all. Got hits when they throwin' the fastball. Too much shit I've been through, so I put it all in that rear view. Clean money in the black whip, got old problems with a friend.
Steve Phillips, Darren Sutton, and white sand beaches up and down on Panama City Beach. Great destination for these teams. Some of these teams coming from some cooler weather, always fun. Great restaurant. Steve and I figured that out. Runaway Island, great place to get some seafood and take a look at that beautiful water. We were speaking about that. Another place called Hunt and Gather where there's a ton of good seafood. Raw bar and a pub. That's just a few. Steve and I can't try every restaurant while we're here. So Harper will get to hit again in the next inning. We were talking about him. Here's Ryan Cerrone. Cerrone, the second baseman. He goes to work and slaps that one foul up into the seats off to the right side. Just playing with house money when it's 8-0. Enjoy your at-bats. You're already 2-0. If 2-1 doesn't get you into the championship game, if you don't come back, you get a consolation game tomorrow. We're enjoying watching Trenton Late pitch.
Yeah, interesting to see how Late responds after sitting on the bench for such a long period of time.
Especially, you're right, Steve, earlier in the year. Good news is, I've done this event. We've done this event when it's really cold. It's not that. That's helpful.
Work, baby, work.
You giddy up on the fastball, but it's up and away.
You know, you get this big lead right here. You just want to attack hitters, go right at them.
And he lost him. Just rearing back, throwing fastballs. He went 1-2-3 in the first inning. Ryan Cerrone earns a walk. The second baseman out of St. Petersburg, Florida. And a runner on
not
first.
Everybody can pitch. Not everybody can pitch with a lead either. You know, and sometimes it's just, you know, guys think I worry too much about throwing strikes, and then I'm over trying, and I start thinking about it. Just got to get relaxed and go attack the hitter.
Jeff Davis takes off the plate, 1-0 the count. Davis from Moline, Illinois, went to Assumption High School.
Come on, Juan. Come on, Juan. Jeff.
Played his travel ball for Perfect Game Iowa Select, the PG Iowa team.
Come on, Juan. Let's go. Let's go, Juan.
Runner on the move, throw down to the arm side. It skips to the right, and the stolen base by Cerrone. Garrett Harper, I don't know even with a perfect throw if Harper gets him. That was a big jump.
It is. Now, you know, generally down 8-0 in a game, you might not try to run and run into outs because every base runner is what you need. But if you think you've got the pitcher read and he's got a big leg kick and you've got speed on the bases, I'm not opposed to taking the base.
Cerrone bouncing around, and again, that plate's moving around on the right-hander, Trenton Lape.
Yeah, I think if he loses him here, I suspect he'll get a mountain visit to try to get him to regroup and get back in the zone.
Outside. Walk, stolen base, and a walk. And Steve, I really think you're onto something. The time on the bench and the cobwebs that'll form in the body early in the season may be getting to him.
Yeah, you know, you get adrenaline going, and then you're sitting for a long time, and you've been sweating, and then you cool off a little bit. And so it's not uncommon that after a long offensive inning for a pitcher to have to shake it off and shake off some of the rust again. Out there having the conversation with him. But, you know, as much as he's talking to everybody else out there, you know, this is about, hey, this is what we're going to do. When you throw it over the plate and let them put it in play, this is what we're going to do.
So there's the mound visit. And again, the goals are simple. Throw strikes, let your stuff play. Because as we saw in the first inning, Steve and I, it was clear. An athletic arm on the mound, a lot of bounce on the mound. Fastball 92 to 94. He's 92. And more than anything, the command has betrayed him. Nick Past is the designated hitter, number 13 on that jersey. It's Nick's opportunity now. Squares the bunt. The play out front toward third. And a great effort there, pouncing on it by J.C. Vanek.
Trying to get the out at first base. He came flying in there and quick release. Did not hesitate or think about getting the out at third. Seems like there might be a disagreement on whether or not they got it, but holding the bat at the top of the zone. And, you know, again, if you're going to bunt with runners on first and second, you want to bunt it to third base. That's the play, right? Man on first, you're going to sacrifice bunt. Then it looks like he might have been in there, but man on first, you're going to sacrifice bunt. You bunt it to first base. First and second, you want to move the runner in third. You bunt it to third, make the third baseman give up the base, so it's easier for the runner to get in there.
And he comes right back with a strike to Bryce Jackson, the left-handed hitting shortstop. You know, it's 8-0. You have a pitcher that's kind of not on the ropes by any means, but just looking for that comfort. Sometimes to me, I'm thinking, okay, you just gave me an out. Thank you so much. 1-1 the count.
Yeah, I think that you know, different levels of baseball do it differently. At the major league level, you wouldn't see a bunt there. But, you know, the idea of second inning, let's start pecking away at this. Let's get a couple runs right now and work our way back into it.
Didn't mean to, but then he did. Bryce Jackson, the shortstop. Palm Beach, Florida, his home. Went to Dwyer High School, just a freshman. Head coach Jordan Yamamoto there, played for the really strong elite squad program. Looked like he crossed him up that time. Or maybe he crossed himself
like
up.
That.
And Steve, it looked like Harper tapped his chest protector saying, I crossed myself up.
Yeah, there was some confusion somewhere in there. Fortunately, he was able to catch the pitch.
Wrapped all the way around the plate, just didn't get the white of it. 3-2 the count to Bryce Jackson.
Come on, Bryce. Come on, Bryce, let's go.
Eastern Florida State.
It's a big at-bat right here. If they're going to get back in the game, Eastern Florida, this is going to be a big at-bat.
That one skips by. That's ball 4. They can't find the baseball. A wild pitch all the way around. 180 feet on a wild pitch, and suddenly Eastern Florida State, in a unique way, has their first run. Jeff Davis scores.
And again, it looked a little bit like Garrett Harper got crossed up again on that. And see the pitch there, it just sort of kicks away from him. And then, it's tough as a catcher, right? You're looking for somebody to tell you where it is, and you're searching everywhere.
Jackson reaches on a walk. Jason Mack now. Mack takes outside. Jason, North Carolina native. Played at Pro 5 Baseball Academy, graduating in 2023 for Coach Drew Anderson. One and one. And his mom and dad. Go ahead,
the advice
Steve.
from the dugout, get the foot down, and that's right. A little bit behind on the fastball, but that's because he had to rush because he didn't start early enough. Get that front foot down so you're in position to launch the bat.
Into the dirt it goes. And Garrett Harper having it, and again, that's a spiked pitch into the dirt, but Harper having to really work in this inning now. Runners on second and third. Well, you can get one or two more. You're feeling, like you said, Steve, a chance to chip away, especially when you had a lead runner gunned down on a bunt attempt. To the right side, diving attempt, and up with it, bobbling, and everybody's safe. A run will score. 8-2 the score. Colin Garrett did all he could. I think knocking it down might have saved that second run from scoring.
It certainly did, right? The ball slashed from Jason Mack to the right side, and Garrett making a great effort getting over there. It looked like he was going to be able to make the play and save it, but it just got away from his glove. And so one run does come in, but he absolutely saved that second run, or the third run of the inning, from coming in that moment.
All right, now we're cooking with gas for the Titans. And a chance to put a third run. There's just one out in the inning. Big, aggressive swing from the left side. Jamel Vera Jr., New York City, New York. Travel ball for the New York Dynasty. Body Shop Athletics. Went to P27 Academy. Spent his first year at Florida International. Transferred in from there. Donna, Jamel, his parents. How about that take?
Yeah. That pitch just dropped off the table. Excellent pitch on an 0-2 count. Really good pitch, right? They had to make a decision. Fortunately, he was able to hold up.
There's some work by Harper behind the plate. Good looking block.
Probably going to look for the fastball right here. Threw him a couple of breaking balls in a row.
2-2 pounds that one off the turf. Vanek steps on the bag, and that third run scores. 8-3. That's how you do it if you're Vera.
Put it in play. Put it in play, even if you top it. Right? Just don't strike out. That's the key. I mean, there's so many strikeouts in the game today. But when you put it in play, you can make a productive out and come up with an RBI.
Kevin Smith, hard ground ball. Couple of slides over from Colin Guerra, and he vacuums it up and throws in time for the out. But all of a sudden, Eastern Florida State College says, we're here to play. We're already undefeated. Let's make it a game. They're down now 8-3. Chipola, Eastern Florida. Two great programs here in a great Florida city. Panama City Beach, Florida. College baseball, well, my color analyst was the University of Michigan alum. And so certainly his pride in playing the sport at the college level shines through. Drafted and developed many talented college baseball players through the years when building Major League Baseball teams through his journey. Steve Phillips, I'm Darren Sutton, and we're glad you're with us.
Absolutely. Special inning here now for Eastern Florida. Try to put up a 0. Get back in the dugout, start hitting again, right? Put up a goose egg after you get some runs, put up a 0, and get your offense back in there.
Garrett Harper struck out in his first at bat. He started off that second inning. He was actually in the batter's box when a curious stolen base attempt from Colin Guerra ended the inning. Otherwise, Chipola may still be hitting.
They might be.
Nice breaking ball. There's a nice get me over. Always feel like that's such an effective pitch. Strike one. Now the fastball, a good one. Hat flies off, 0-2. David Morrissey deals it. Breaking ball, strike 3.
Yeah, got a feel for the breaking ball right there. Kept coming right back with it. You had a lot of confidence in it. You know, and a lot of times hitters go up there, they'll look for a fastball on the first pitch. If you can get over a breaking ball, you can work ahead. That's a good-looking breaking ball right there. Harper swinging over the top of it, pulling off a little bit.
Bouncing ball, easy chance. Flip on to first from the second baseman, Ryan Cerrone. 2 outs. When you kind of punch through and you gain even a measure of confidence, nothing helps more than your pitcher getting you right back into the dugout. As you said.
Absolutely. Momentum, rhythm.
Luke Williams squares and bunts at a pretty good breaking ball that missed outside. Singleton scored back in the second.
Sorry, Darren, 2 outs. I'd love to see him swing the bat, try to hit a double right here, get himself in scoring position.
Instead, 2 bunt attempts, but it's 2-0. Here's that double swing coming up now on 2-0. Good pitch. Interesting at bat.
Yeah. I mean, look, if you can get on and you're like a sure thing on a stolen base, it's okay. As long as you can get the second for the next hitter to try to drive you in.
Pitcher fell down. It's an easy roller out to second. Cerrone got him in time for the out. That's a 1-2-3 inning. That's the momentum Steve was talking about. David Morrissey gets the job done, says to the Titans, gentlemen, keep on swinging. Junior college baseball, some of the best programs in the land, and we'll be back with you tomorrow. The top 2 teams in the pool standings could be Eastern Florida State, could be an Indian River State College. Gulf Coast, a host team, could slide in and do it, and we'll see. The handful of teams in a great spot. Another one, Florence Darlington, at a 2-1 record. We'll untangle all of it, but we'll have the championship game for you. 2 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock Central. All the way out west at 11 a.m. What do you like about Trenton Leap? I mean, he kind of was his own worst enemy in the second inning, but in the first was strong. What are you liking about him, Steve?
Good line fastball. He's athletic on the mound. He's got a repeatable delivery. He just got out of sync a little bit that last inning. And, you know, he does seem like he's aggressive on that first inning. He went right at guys, and then he got out of whack last inning. And, you know, he got the big lead. He sat for a long time on the bench. And so didn't sit this long this last half inning. So a chance for him to maybe to get that momentum back again. And strike one, so important for him.
It's a good fastball, and there is strike one that you were talking about, 0-1 the count. Slider in the mid-80s. Fastball, 92, 93, 94. One and one.
You know, Darren, back when I was running the minor leagues for the Mets, one of the things we tracked was first pitch strikes, and then also retiring hitters on 3 pitches or less. That idea of attacking them. Don't try to miss bats. We're so inclined to look for strikeouts now, but attacking the hitter and letting your defense do the job behind you, especially with nobody on base, certainly is valuable.
Yeah, that was kind of the settle-in we saw last inning. That's what made David Morrissey so successful. Just came out zipping strikes. A couple of ground outs and a strikeout. Swing and a miss. Good downward tilt to that one. Was that a changeup?
Yeah, that's something happening. I don't know whether he's throwing a split or a changeup on it, but it just sort of dives off the table. They set up a way, and that thing just goes down in the zone. Really nice looking pitch right there.
Lape, of course, coming out of high school, was an LSU commit. As that one is popped foul off to the right side. Played in Perfect Games 14U Select Festival back in 2019, and he graduated, Trenton Lape, as the number 5 third baseman in the country in 2023. Gustavo Mendez, 1-1.
Home plate umpire Denver Dangerfield. Short hopped a little bit on the one throw, but redeemed himself the next time throwing it out there.
He did. He felt bad. He got right on that next throw. As that one's fouled off. You could say, hold on now. Don't even pick that ball up. I got one for you. These umpires do a nice job, these perfect game umpires. Take a lot of pride in this. This is a good assignment.
They have done a terrific job. Balls and strikes have been very well called here so far in the tournament.
That's Denver. Todd is out on the base pads. Kind of overthrew that one. It almost has the feel that that's exactly what's going on with Trenton. He's doing just what you said sometimes is tempting. Trying to make every pitch perfect and miss every time.
Yeah.
Meaning miss the bats.
Right.
Yeah. Didn't get a swing at a slider. So that's, what, 3 walks, 4 walks in the last 2 innings after a clean as a whistle first.
You know, and we can look at ball 4, but I think it's the pitches before that to where you get there, right? I don't know if I would have thrown the breaking ball or the split right there either. I would have come back with a fastball. It's 8-3. Let them hit 5 solo home runs to try to catch you.
Misses outside. He's fighting himself a little bit now.
Yeah.
Ryan Cerrone has played a good second base. He walked, stole a bag back in the second inning. 2-0.
You know, it's such a, this game can do so many crazy things in your head that, you know, so mental is with everything that you go through, whether you're a hitter or a pitcher. And, you know, you want to compete against the opposition, not against yourself. And sometimes you get caught up in that, and we've all done it.
Right back to the screen it goes. And, of course, these are the first college innings for Lape. Coming back to full help, missing last year at LSU. I asked him, what is the greatest challenge you've had to overcome? And he said, 4 surgeries in a row. He said, and then a lot of rehab is how he was able to do it. There's still that concept of he's kind of getting his sea legs back again. That arm is there. It's chopped to the right side. Nice job getting around that baseball and then turning it into an out by Colin Guerra.
And also a nice job by Vanek as well to make a decision to give up on it and get back to the bag, right? Trust your second baseman's going to get there. That's well done.
And little things in this game as Jeff Davis now has a chance to drive in a run. Gustavo Mendez moves on to second base. Right down the middle, spins the slider, 0-1 the count. Still 91, 92 miles an hour.
Come on, boys. Let's go, Dad.
Good breaking ball. So here, tell me, Steve, if I saw that right. The first breaking ball, sharp and tight, that more of a classic drop curveball.
Yes, right. That was more of a curveball there, right? The other ones are either a split or a backup slider that he's throwing. But that was the conventional curveball, and a good one.
There's another curveball. Popped up to the right side. Nice communication, calling off his second baseman. Hugas puts that one away. A 0 on the board. Chipola College on top of Eastern Florida State College, 8-3. Chipola College, Marianna, Florida, for the Florida college system. School that was born in 1947. They bring their show here to the beach, and they're leading by a score of 8-3. Chipola, a tiny school. Sarah Clemens, the president of that school, about 2,500 students, but they make the most of their visitors. Steve, it's a who's who when you look at athletes that have played at or gotten drafted coming out of Chipola. Coach Johnson has a rich history of alum.
I mean, think about it. Jose Batista, who's had an extraordinary career, ending up with the Blue Jays. Russell Martin, also playing there. Patrick Corbin, a solid major league career, made a ton of money. Buck Showalter as well.
Bounced out to the left side. Long throw from back behind the bag. He made that look easy, Jason Mack. That's a fine play.
It really is a good play. Moving himself into foul territory to field that ball, and momentum is with the footwork. Does a good job, but he gets himself stopped with it, plants, throws. Good strong throw across the infield to get the out.
That, by the way, was Michael Mullinex, the PG All-American. That one driven, well struck toward the alley at left center field and toward the wall. You can kiss that one goodbye. Hugas will touch them all. What a day, 3 for 3, and now 3 RBIs, and that one a blast.
Yeah, that was a blast. That was an outstanding swing. And I tell you, we've seen some great hitting so far this weekend here in this tournament. I mean, we've seen some real power strokes. Hugas getting a pitch that he can drive right here against the young left-hander Morrissey on the mound. And he goes down and gets it, drives it on the park, and that is just a smooth, easy swing. Gets the backspin on the ball, drives it out of the park. He's had a nice game.
And what a great two-way player. Hugas, by the way, already has a couple of starts, 6 innings of work. He's going to pitch. He's going to hit. And the home runs will start to stack up quickly. Very bright future. He's not giving up that baseball being on the mound as well. JC's 2 for 2. Right back to work for the left-hander Morrissey. At Chipola, there are some fun names. Jose Caballero, who we've seen play his way to the big leagues with the Arizona Diamondbacks. Drafted by the Diamondbacks and found his way with Seattle and Tampa Bay. That's strike 3. You mentioned Russell Martin.
Adam Duvall, also. Good breaking ball right there by Morrissey. He's been tough left on left. And I think that Vanek just gives the lefties a little too much credit and jump on that first fastball that you're getting.
2 outs in the inning. Slugger Sam Parker. One and one. Gosh, shoot. Seems like only yesterday Jose Bautista wrapped up his career. It's crazy to think. He had 344 major league home runs.
Yeah, he had a great career.
Good pitch in. Almost like a little two-seamer right up under the hands. Really good. It's a gutsy pitch because if you miss, you're in trouble.
Well, he's slicing the plate with his breaking ball and then coming back in with the two-seamer.
Taking a breaking ball. You think of Bautista starting his career 04 in Baltimore, Tampa Bay, KC, bounced around a lot, then finally found a home in Pittsburgh. Little chopper, hopping out from behind home plate. That's well played. Bo Chipola, and unable to then turn it into an out. He was really Johnny on the spot initially.
Yeah, we don't often talk about range for catchers, but he came out firing out of the box right there to be able to field the ball and to catch it on the run out in front, and then to have to try to turn your body to make the throw and just let it get beyond Mendez at first base.
I think Mendez may tell you, I probably should have caught that baseball though.
Yeah, I think he took his eye off of it, knowing the runner coming down the line a little bit.
I'm going to guess Sam Parker sounded like a freight train coming down that line.
Yeah, I don't listen. I'm not judging him for not wanting to go to the baseline right there for sure.
He's wondering, wait, when did Lawrence Taylor come into the ballpark?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You make a good point, though. Hard to kind of set your feet, put anything on the throw, but I think Gustavo probably catches that one 9 times out of 10. Good taking a breaking ball. 3-0 the count. Colin Guerra. And just to finish thoughts on Bautista and remembering his career, he kind of finally came of age with Pittsburgh, if I recall.
He did, but until he got to Toronto, the power numbers just didn't explode.
Right.
He was a late bloomer, but boy, he got that big leg kick and the power swing. He had an extraordinary career and had so many big home runs for the Blue Jays.
You're exactly right. I just even remembering kind of like, oh boy, this guy can hit 16 home runs when he was a middling player for a couple of years. That seemed like a nice total, and you're thinking, okay, this guy can do some damage. He's slugging 420, 430. A couple years later, he's slugging 620.
And he was one of the first that really, as a player, was into social media. And he really created a brand for himself by doing that. And, had relationships with the fans because he was so into interacting in social media.
Colin Guerra, the count 3-2. That's high. That's ball 4. So a miscue and a walk. Not the way you want to kind of extend an inning. And for all you dreamers out there that wonder how a career can start and what you can turn it into, Jose Bautista, drafted out of Chipola, certainly, as we've been talking about for so long, in the 20th round. And that's the career he ended up having. Kind of, Steve, you can tell me, you built teams, you ran minor leagues. If you're a 20th round pick, you got to turn heads pretty quickly in the minor leagues, don't you?
You do, and it's just uncommon, right? I mean, usually you draft superstars in the first round, the second round. You don't typically, because the reality is, as good a player as he turned out to be, you were wrong 19 rounds before you finally took him in the 20th round because you ran the risk somebody else might take him, right? And, I always said about the Cardinals with Albert Pujols taking in the 12th round. It's like they were wrong 11 times before they finally took him. What a risk they took that they might not get him. He turned into a star.
Seguin fouls it up. Pujols, by the way, albeit from the Dominican Republic, exactly like Jose Bautista from the DR, but Pujols, a junior college selection. He's another one that went the JUCO route. 9-3 the score. One and two the count.
I mean, I ended up getting Mike Piazza in a trade when in the major leagues, but he was a 62nd round draft pick.
How about that?
Now a Hall of Famer.
Hot shot, bullet. Last year, Lucas Elisal was drafted in the 13th round out of Chipola, the lone draft pick that signed. He signed with the Detroit Tigers. Of course, a couple of years ago, we talked about Cam Collier, 18th overall pick, signing for $5 million out of Chipola. And it felt like then, Steve, when he was drafted, and I'm just saying it felt like it. It wasn't truly the case. It felt like he was still about 17, 16 years old.
Yeah.
I believe he played at Chipola at 17.
Wow.
Yeah, he's been in pro ball a couple years. He's 20.
Wow.
Just turned 20. Good breaking ball. There's that out he was looking for. Had to scrap and claw to get it. Not before, though. Miguel Hugas sent one into the night. With his arm, he can do damage. With his bat, he can do damage. There's a guy in L.A. they talk about a lot that does both things. He'd love to chase that dream as well.
I need all the wins. Yeah. Ain't no ends, gotta get a no call to quits. Yeah. Gotta keep on moving no matter how hard it gets. Yeah. Better move out the way, cause I'm coming with hard hits. My hand is as hard as a brick, but I'm harder than all of this. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out.
At Panama City Beach, 27 miles of white sand, gorgeous turquoise waters, and sunsets you'll never forget are just the beginning. Here, your family can vacation the way they want. Whether your style is go, 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 or just take it slow, this is where you can be you. Have an adventure, ride the waves, eat the perfect meal, or relax until the sun goes down. Panama City Beach. Make it yours at the Real Fun Beach.
Chipola, Eastern Florida State, the Titans from Cocoa, Florida. Steve Phillips, Darren Sutton, thanks for spending time with us. You remember Brevard Community College. Brevard used to be the name of Eastern Florida. Dallas Moran out of Louisiana. He takes the rock and he rolls. Transferred in from Nicholls State University. That's where he started his college career. St. Amant High School. 6'1", 185.
Looks like another infielder on the mound. Good athletic frame.
Someday would love to be a coach. Loves the sport. Tries to learn like a coach, but for now wants to play as long as he can. Excited to watch him work. Two-time All-State performer in high school in Louisiana. Good-looking fastball. Strike one. To Nick passed. Wide open stance. Another good fastball. Strike two.
Yeah, coming in, throwing strikes. Gotta love that.
Nick reached on a fielder's choice and scored back in the second inning. Slider, ground ball, backhanding, up with it, on a cross, head first slide, tumbles over the bag. That's an infield hit the hard way.
Well, that's laying it out right there, but excellent play by Seguin at short. Ranging over to his left, tough play from the hole right there. Plants and makes the throw, and good effort by Pass, hustling down the line, just beating it. And the hop on the throw. Good pick at first base, though, by Vanek. Just can't get him.
J.C. Vanek, a couple of times we've seen him make really wise decisions or good athletic plays at first. We zipped that one out right in there. Readings, what we're seeing so far, 89, 90 miles an hour. Jackson walked and scored. Bryce Jackson, the shortstop. Waiting for this event to play out again. We'll have the championship game for you. I can tell you this, Indian River State College has won their first 3 games. They just wrapped up with another victory. So they're 3-0, and they've outscored their opponents 20-4. That's one team you will see tomorrow.
For sure.
Now, if Eastern Florida State can hop off the mat and rally, win this one, they'd be the other one. Because they would be the only 2 undefeated teams. There are a handful of one-loss teams, Gulf Coast and Pearl River and Florence Darlington and Chipola, should they win this game. So we'll wait to see who Indian River State College takes on.
Indian River State College in Fort Pierce, Florida, just up the road from Port St. Lucie, Florida. When I was with the Mets, we drafted a young outfielder, Angel Pagan, who had a nice major league career from Indian River.
Oh, that's a good name, Steve. Into the catcher's mitt it goes, and aggressive. Now that's a 3-1 swing. Jackson not about to get cheated, walked and scored back in the second inning. Dallas just powered that one, overthrew it to the glove side. Yeah, they're giving him a little bit of life, aren't they?
They are, just giving them base runners, and that's, for Eastern Florida, just keep getting guys on base, and let's see what happens.
Dugout giving him some charge to get going out there, find that strike zone, believe in his stuff, the right-hander. Meantime, Mack ready to take a swing. Jason Mack squares the bunt, takes outside. Big lead. It skips into center field, but no chance to move up. Kind of right over the bag. Pass doesn't look real comfortable. I hope he's all right.
Well, he dove so hard into first base trying to beat out that infield hit. You wonder if he's a little dinged up out there.
I got to look at him. He's giving himself the business. I got to stay on my feet, guys. Kind of grabbing at the quad area, the knee. Let's see. Oh, boy.
Might have got the top of the base and slid off of the top of the base.
That hurts a couple of things. Hurts the leg when it bends in a unique way. Hurts the tailbone when you land, and the pride as well.
Yeah, hurts your feelings a little bit.
2-0 the count. Jason Mack singled in a run back in the second inning. Pretty fastball dots the outside corner. J-Mac, they call him. His parents, mom and dad, same name, both Chris. Bunted. Go ahead and pick it up, take the out. They're going to give you an out, take an out. That's funny by Vanek. He was right on top of it. He anticipated it, Steve. He could have maybe let it roll foul, but he thought, I'm taking it out.
Right, take the out for sure. Take the out. And again, another bunt with runners on first and second to the first baseman instead of the third baseman.
And last time it really bit him as they got the lead runner. Jamel's turn. He grounded out, but plated a run back in the second inning. 1-0 the count. 7-inning game, so plenty of time left for Eastern Florida State. They're probably thinking 2 at a time. Let's get it 2 at a time. 1-1. JJ, his mates call him Mel. They call him. You can hear that from the dugout. out of the Big Apple. Takes low, 2-1 the count.
His first at bat, he had runners on third base and was able to hit the high chopper to first, and he was out, but was able to pick up the run. And another opportunity for him to pick up a cheap RBI right here, even if it's a productive out.
Hits it hard on a couple of hops. Out to the second baseman. A run does score. Guerra with the second out of the inning on a ground out, and Jackson moves to third with pass scoring.
That's what the value is of putting the ball in play. The tack-on runs, and every time you can just add a run when you're trying to work your way back and come back and keep pecking away at that lead, you're giving yourself a chance to come back with a big inning later.
And 9-4 now. Smith beaten with a fastball in. 0-1 the count on Kevin. 0 for 2. Struck out and grounded out. To the backstop it goes, far enough away. You betcha. What a huge run that is for Eastern Florida.
Well, they'll take it and working their way back into it. Remember, they've been undefeated this year. They're 2-0 so far in this tournament. And obviously trying to fight their way in to be an undefeated team to come back and win this one.
Smith, the transfer, the Louisville transfer, initially out of John Carroll Catholic. Committed to go there, played in a bunch of perfect game events. 2-2. We saw him wear an FTB uniform in the travel ball world, play for the Florida Burn as well. But mainly FTB, Florida Travel Ball, his team. There's a slower breaking ball, and that's strike 3. But not before Eastern Florida makes it interesting. First two runners reach, and credit to them, with contact and aggressive base running, they plate both of those runners. They're within a grand slam now, 9-5. A couple of years ago, Josh Lanham was at Decatur High School. He was an all-state competitor. He's now with his mates by the beach. And he goes to work with his team down 4. The right-hander, Josh Lanham from Stone Mountain, Georgia. He played for Robbie Gilbert when he was in high school and made the move, the transfer move to this JUCO program. You saw that from North Georgia. William and Kimberly, his parents. All-State earned back at the 5A level in 2022 and has had to come back from Tommy John surgery. So the patience, the challenge, he had to live through it. He's excited to be out working.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about players that have had injuries along the way, and we mentioned it in the earlier game. But the mental part of recovering from an injury, you know, and my boys played football in college, and they had injuries. And I don't think I prepared them enough for the mental part of it, that you know, no matter what sport, when you're on a team and you can't perform, you feel invisible to the coaching staff and to the rest of the team. And it's a lot to take that in and try to keep pushing through and remembering that you're still part of it.
Derek Gonzalez gets the call. He'll swing the bat. Puerto Rican native, the freshman. That hat flies off, 1-1 the count. Yeah, back from that injury, so Gonzalez goes to work in this one. 0 for 4 with a walk to start the season. Coming into today's action for Gonzalez. They stay in and catch as he hits for Harper. 2-1 the count. High 80s with the fastball so far from Josh. Way inside. That's ball 4. So Gonzalez, as we said, look for him to catch the rest of the game as well. Lanham just turned 21 years old. Fastball ready for it. That one driven by Croce. Toward the wall in right center field. It's off the base of the wall. Jeff Davis picks it up, fires it to the cutoff man. Toward the plate, the slide, and in there safely. Gonzalez goes all the way around to score. Nick Croce with an opposite field blast.
Good piece of hitting. Got a ball up in the zone that he could handle and didn't try to pull it, didn't roll over on it. It just drove it to deep right field. Jeff Davis going back on it, trying to have a beat on it, but the ball goes off the base of the wall. Good relay throw, however, and they get it in. And I thought they might have a shot at getting him at the plate, as it looked like that Harper was sort of, or Gonzalez was sort of taking his time or reading whether or not that ball could be caught in right field, but they're able to get the run across.
Quick conversation. Again, all the way back from Tommy John surgery and just trying to kind of find his way. There are times when you can do all the rehab and inter-squad games and bullpens you want, but you need to get in a game. And then you're looking, Steve, kind of for that light switch in the dark. And when you find a light switch, usually it stays on.
You know, and one of the things when you're coming back from Tommy John, one of the last things to come back is the ability to command the ball where you want. Velocity can come back. You know, the durability can come back, but that ability to locate, that last little bit of proprioception of manipulating the baseball is one of the last things to come back.
Love the work of Chipola there, using his entire body and that catcher's gear to block up that breaking ball. Luke Williams. Teammates encouraging Lanham out on the mound as he overthrows. That one to the backstop it goes with a head-first slide. Bodies pile up. Good athletic effort by Lanham, but in safely with the slide is Nick. Croce scores it. They get both runs back. That's big.
It is big, right? Respond, come back, and obviously for Eastern Florida, they wanted to put up a 0 to try to get back in and hit, but Chipola has some different ideas.
And you get to the point when you start looking at the tiebreakers, should they have that 2-1 mark? Head-to-head play matters. Runs allowed matter. And then right below that, total runs scored, if there's still a tie. So they want to put as many on the board as they can and hope to set up some sort of a tie break when they have teams like Gulf Coast and Pearl River and Florence Darlington. Meridian possibly all at 2-1. And by the way, Eastern Florida State suddenly is going to be 2-1 too.
Right.
Good looking breaking ball for strike one.
Now, good news for Eastern Florida State, right? They had 2 9-0 wins early on, so they scored and they didn't give up much. But obviously, this one, Chipola tacking on some runs.
Run on the move, fired down, waiting on him. Oh, baby Bo blocking up nicely and also working with that arm behind the plate.
Really nice throw right there. Excellent job, Bo Chipola. Able to get that ball outside, and that's a tough pitch because when it's in the right-handed batter's box, you catch it, you got to get that shoulder turned around to be able to make the accurate throw to second base. Really nice job on his part.
Mullinax clipped by a pitch just in and off the plate, tried to spin out of the way and just nicked him, and he's on to first. He's been on 3 times, a couple of walks, or I should say 1 walk, and hit twice. We haven't been able to see him hit. And this is the second visit out. This feels like big-time teaching moment, doesn't it, Steve?
Yeah.
All right, we'll step aside, continuing to work his way all the way back. Lanham, excited to see once he finds that full stride. But for now, we'll reset the situation when we return, 11-5.
I need all the wins, yeah. Ain't no else, gotta get a no call to quits, yeah. Gotta keep on moving no matter how hard it gets, yeah. Better move out the way, cause I'm coming with hard and hits. My head is as hard as a brick, but I'm harder than all of this. You better move, you might get knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out.
At Panama City Beach, 27 miles of white sand, gorgeous turquoise waters, and sunsets you'll never forget are just the beginning. Here, your family can vacation the way they want. Whether your style is go, 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 or just take it slow, this is where you can be you. Have an adventure, ride the waves, eat the perfect meal, or relax until the sun goes down. Panama City Beach. Make it yours at the Real Fun Beach.
Well, this needs to be your destination if you're passionate about the sport. Perfect Game TV. Now, you may be finding us online for the first time. You need the app. We're the home of amateur baseball every day of the week, 24 hours a day. Athlete features, live games, documentaries. Our future, shining bright daily on Perfect Game TV. You hit that QR code. That's where you find it. Download the free app. Watch us wherever you go. And make sure you get that app on your smart television at home. Perfect Game TV. We are the home of amateur baseball. Okay, another chance to get fresh and keep it right where it's at. Houston Wills is the man who will do so. Transferred in from Nichols College, originally from Holly Springs, North Carolina. Went to Holly Springs High School. Played for Coach Rod Weitzel, I should say, when he graduated in 2023. Houston Wills.
Big, tall, loose, lanky pitcher here. A lot of arms and legs coming at you when you're in the batter's box.
His dad played hoops at Clemson. Mom played all sports in high school, basketball and tennis. A diver as well. Kevin and Bean, his parents. And one of 4 at home. There are 3 siblings. That one skips right on by. Runner will move on over for Hugas. The switch hitter. Switch hitter, multiple positions, special player.
3 hits in the game. Homered his last time up. He's having a day.
Come on, you. Let's go. Stop.
Good take, 2-0, the count.
Come on, Houston, let's go.
Will's a heck of a high school basketball player. As a matter of fact, he was all conference 3 different years in high school. That breaking ball skips in there. Opted to make his way to the college ranks as a baseball player. As a matter of fact, he's the winningest player in the history of his high school for basketball player. Top 5 in all categories, points and steals and blocks and assists. Ball 4.
Yeah, so Will's, he's a big, loose, lanky guy, but, because of the big body, it sometimes is difficult to repeat the delivery. They got a lot of moving parts to try to get in sync. May take him a few hitters to get going.
Will's initially playing Division III baseball in Massachusetts. He fires a strike over the inside corner. He said transferring was big for him. He Wasn't chasing and passionately pursuing the game like he wanted to. Yeah, you can't, like, if you're playing Florida junior college baseball, I don't care what school, whose uniform you're wearing, you're going to pick it up a notch. You just have to,
Yeah.
or you get run over, right, Steve?
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, it's a different level of baseball for sure.
So he chose it. He chose that challenge, leaving the D3 school in Massachusetts behind. 2-1 the count.
Come on, Houston.
And the 11 runs allowed as it pertains to tiebreakers. Kind of a big blow to Eastern Florida State College.
Come on, Houston, let's go.
Obviously, they want to win, but if they were to lose, they'd rather lose like 6-5.
Yeah. Well, they've got to stop the bleeding right now. I mean, they if they're going to have any chance, if this game gets away from them and they don't win, they can't allow more than 11 runs now. They've got to let this thing stop.
And that'll help. Good breaking ball right under the hands of J.C. Vanek. Strike 3.
Yeah, everything he throws moves. And typically when you have a pitcher like that, I want my catcher to set up in the middle of the plate and just let the natural movement work off to the corners one way or the other. You know, we start on the corner and then it moves, it's going to move off the plate.
Was that pretty bender? Strike 1 to slugging Sam Parker.
Come on, Houston, let's go.
Bouncing ball, he'll trickle off the mound. Underhanded flip to the bag. They get Parker, but not before a couple of runs scored. We move along to the bottom half of inning number 5. Chipola adds on. They lead Eastern Florida State College by a score of 11-5. Unofficially, as we look at this event, 14 teams arrived. 8 overall, technically with just one loss, are still alive. Some are completing their second game or their third game, seeing if they're going to go to 2-1. There are a handful of teams already 2-1. Team that really looks like it's trending to get there should Eastern Florida State College not dig out of the holes. The host team, Gulf Coast State College, only, Steve, because they wrapped it up by allowing just 7 runs.
Wow. That could be the standard by which the 2-1 teams are judged.
And Chipola in this game, by allowing the 5, has moved that total to 10. Now, that's the second tier of tiebreakers. Maybe there's head-to-head that eliminates some of the teams, but we'll see. But if you look just simply at that next one, runs allowed, Gulf Coast State 2-1. Now, Eastern Florida State says, that's enough out of you. We're going to rally and win it. So be quiet. 1-1 the count. That last inning didn't help, though.
No.
The catcher, Bo Tabola, takes outside. 2-1 the count. Dallas Moran, 88, 89 miles an hour as he winds up and deals the 2-1. It's high, 3-1.
Base runners right now. Eastern Florida just wants to get as many base runners as they can. to give themselves a chance to come back.
Back to the screen it goes. 2 o'clock Eastern, we'll have the championship game tomorrow. Steve and I excited to be back with you on a beautiful day in Florida. Three, two, lifted. Shallow left field, where Michael Molinax makes the play.
Good start to the inning from Rand. Get that first out. And come right back in with strike one.
Goose Mendez here in the bottom of the 5th. Gustavo walked and grounded out to short. Right down Broadway. 0-1 the count.
I think
Jeff
Gustavo
Johnson
shaved after the 3rd inning, and it's growing back already.
Hello, breaking ball 0-2. Jeff Johnson, the legendary head coach of Chipola, on his staff. Rush Hickson, Anthony Marks, Sterling Pell, Seamus Keneally, Daniel Serta. Got a deep coaching staff, which means his athletic department. He is the athletic director, to be fair. But that means his school supports him with a nice budget if you have a staff like that. The Chipola head coach, the national coach of the year 3 times. Sorry about that, Steve.
No, I'm sorry. So he throw him a 3rd curveball in a row right here?
No, he didn't. Now, all 3 times that Johnson was the national coach of the year, his team won the JUCO World Series. There's the one you were asking for, Steve.
Got him.
It is a good pitch.
Yeah, he's got a good curveball. You know, he just sometimes tries to yank it and he throws it off the plate. But if you start it over the plate and then break it off the plate, you can get the hitter to chase, as he did with Mendez right there.
I think he maybe thought he got a piece of it, because now he's being questioned, I think, a little teaching moment as to why he didn't run that one out by his head coach. Meantime, fly ball center field turns it into a 1-2-3 inning. Ryan Cerrone restoring order. Dallas Moran, Chipola, Coach Johnson on top by a score of 11-5.
Wow. Oh, you feel brand new. That's crazy. I feel no pain, nothing. That's like crazy. Zero pain, zero.
Yo, that's crazy, dude.
Like, I can't feel my traps anymore because they've been going and they're super loose now. But my legs, it almost feels like somebody's just like pump, pump, pump. It feels like you're getting a massage, free massage.
Shoes might grow, no better way to go.
Darren Sutton, Steve Phillips, as we welcome you back. Steve, what have you enjoyed most as we see some of the names about this one thus far?
Well, Miguel Hugas has really swung the bat well. Big home run in this game. And, you know, I think that the offensive production, the patience at the plate, the ability to drive the ball, and Chipola's offense has been so aggressive in this game. And they needed this game to have a shot to advance.
And we'll see if that 2-1 will hold up with all the tiebreakers that come into play. They have allowed overall 10 runs, which there's nothing wrong with that. So we'll see where that stands. But they'd like to score more runs. Make sure that this other team, should they hold on to win, this other team that they hope to defeat has plenty of runs in the runs column, runs allowed column. Colin Guerra, Josiah Segan, and then Gonzalez, who stayed in to catch. 1-0 the count. Will's way inside.
Will certainly has a bit of a funky delivery, right? He is a lot of arms and legs coming at the hitter. The deception is there. But he doesn't seem to repeat the release point, right? He's got different arm slots depending upon which pitch he's throwing so far.
And so many, not only that, you talk about, but everything seems to have life. It almost looks like as that one runs, I think you even talked about just setting up, squaring up behind the plate, everything moving a ton.
Yeah, I think because his release point changes, where his hand's on the ball keeps being on either side of it, which causes the movement, but it affects his command.
1-0 the count to Seguin. Team is down 6. Again, to be clear, if they were to rally and win this game, they're in the championship game. They'd be 3-0. No matter how ugly the win would be, they'd still be 3-0. Parker Trowbridge is starting to warm in the bullpen, a freshman for Eastern Florida State College. On the move, drawing the throw. Throw goes into center field. He'll pop up, think about it, but a stolen base for Colin.
Keep the pressure on. And listen, I'm all for, the 6-run game and where pitchers aren't always throwing a lot of strikes, you got to keep on running, taking advantage of the opportunity, especially if you can find a certain pitch and a certain count to run on.
The pace in this one shows a little bit of the fatigue of both teams playing for the second time today. Not quite as zippy. It's understandable. A doubleheader on the first or second week of the season can be challenging. That's ball 4. Yeah, they keep cracking the door open for Chipola, don't they?
They do, and for Houston Wills, he's got to find a way to get himself in line to home plate and get everything moving in sync. But it seems sometimes his body rushes, his arm legs behind, and sometimes he's sort of tilted when he's coming in there, and he just can't seem to find the catcher's glove.
Had a little meeting, had a fist bump. Gonzalez waiting for the chance. They're buying quite a bit of time. That was a quite deliberate meeting by Bo.
Probably was signaled to go out and have a chat while they're getting warmed up in the bullpen.
You could have made a really, really good sandwich in the time he was out there. I mean, fixing Steve, slice a tomato, peeled back.
That sounds amazing right now.
You could have done it all. I'm going to even say you could have toasted the bread.
Yeah. But he got back in the zone. That visit maybe calmed him down a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And I think that visit allowed the bullpen to be ready if they want it.
So when a right-handed pitcher keeps missing in the right-handed batter's box, it's because the front shoulder's flying open and the arm's dragging behind. So he's got to slow his body down and get his arm out in front more and keep that shoulder closed.
Like that.
And a lot of times, the way to do it is to get a guy to throw a breaking ball because the pitcher thinks to himself, I really have to get out in front of extension and pull down on that pitch, and it gets their body back in line.
Boy, that is a hammer. That's maybe the best one he's thrown. That's strike 3. Good call by you, watching closely those mechanics.
He's got it in there, and this is just about when scouts watch a player, they'll say, if he can do it once, then I know it's in there, and it's up to us to develop him to get him back on track. Now, whether that's, minor league coaches or college coaches.
it's kind of on that replay, we could see that breaking ball. It's a different delivery, isn't it? I know he's searching for that slot, but it's almost looks like he short arms it just a little bit.
He does.
Try and get the trail runner. That's exactly what they will do. Runner moves to third, but they will get Seguin, the trail runner.
Good heads-up play right there. Bo Chipola. I mean, knocking that ball down, I realize you don't have a chance at third, and then coming up and getting the runner at second base. That's a very heads-up play.
Nick Croce doubled on 2-0. He sees a breaking ball 2-1.
Yeah, he feels like he can control the breaking ball right now, and so I suspect they're going to keep on showing that.
Goodness.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's a good. That thing needed a turn signal when it got to home plate. It took a sharp left-hand turn.
That slider found the plate, but it's down off the end of the bat and crushed to left field and out of here. Hung it out over the plate, and Nick will touch them all. A double last time up. This time, a 2-run homer for Croce.
Well, when you see a pitch after pitch, and again, it's because Will's, the one he could get over was the breaking ball. You know, he keeps throwing it, but a hitter can start to look for it. When a hitter looks for a certain pitch, it makes it that much more hittable. He got a hanging slider and able to drive it to deep left center field for a big home run.
Crazy. This team had not allowed a run Eastern Florida State in their first 2 games. They've allowed 13 in this one. And Chipola had scored 9, allowed just 5. They've come out kicking. Luke Williams. Fastball splits the plate. It's lifted back of short. Good communication. Left fielder calls him off. Hangs with it there. And that one put away by Vieira. Oh, what a beautiful swing that was, driving it on out of the yard. Chipola gets a little bit more comfortable, hoping to play in that title game tomorrow. We'll do the math for you. The 2025 Visit Panama City Beach College Baseball Classic. Our final broadcast of the day today. We had a couple of great shows yesterday. Annie and Steve sharing baseball with you. The opening day for a couple of these teams for sure of this season. We'll have our championship game for you tomorrow, 2 o'clock Eastern. Jeff Davis leads it off. Nick passed right behind him, then Bryce Jackson. Good fastball, 0-1 the count. Steve, you and I talking about it. Boch lending his name to this school. He's an alum. Bruce Bochy coming through the Eastern Florida State program.
Yeah, Bruce Bochy Field is where they play. What a career he's had. You know, kind of a journeyman player, not a major impact as a backup catcher, but boy, one of the best managers ever.
Swing and a miss. That's strike 3. And Bochy, as we said, it's been a few minutes, but he was drafted out of this program twice. Ended up eventually in the first round. As that one goes back to the screen. 23rd overall pick, Bochy, back in 1975.
Yeah, when I was in the Mets minor league system, he was part of the major league team. He came up in 1982.
One and one the count.
Played parts of 9 years in the major leagues.
Last player drafted out of Eastern Florida State College in Cocoa, Florida, back in 2017. 15th round pick, Tommy Romero. Actually made it all the way to the big leagues after a minor league journey. Had a little bit of time with Tampa and Washington in 2022. Outside corner, breaking ball, strike 3.
Yeah, Dallas Morin's get himself locked in a little bit right here. Very, very aggressive on the mound, and I see different body language from him right now. He feels like he's starting to feel himself a little bit. Came out aggressive with the fastball, and now just dropping that breaking ball in there.
Yeah, the right-hander, the son of Cale and Rusty. A little bit more stomp and stride around the mound. Had to battle back this pitcher from surgery on his throwing hand just prior to his senior year. Jackson, line drive, base hit. Quick hands.
I like Bryce Jackson a little bit. He's gotten on base 3 times in this game. A couple walks, base hit. Left-handed hitter, good piece of hitting right there. Taking that ball down to the zone, going right back up the middle with it with a line drive. Keep things going.
Jason Mack trying to extend this inning. And if you're this right-hander on the mound, you're thinking, 4 outs. I need to get 4 outs for my team. As I edge closer, and we'll see what our chances are. Running out of room off to the right side. And Steve and I couldn't decide night 1 where we wanted to eat here in town, so we went with Firefly. It was good. I mean, a really good place.
Can't go wrong there.
And night 2 was Hunt and Gather, great oysters. Love Panama City Beach. You strike me, Steve, with all your history around the game. As a guy who would, if I gave you the vote, Arizona spring training or Florida, I think you may vote Florida, or what would you vote?
Yeah, I think Florida, just because I've been in Florida. You know, when I was with the Mets, we were in Florida, and when I was playing, we were in Florida. So I've had 20 years of Florida spring training. But you can't go wrong in either place. If you get a chance to get down to spring training, I would absolutely recommend it. My parents used to always go out to Arizona every year.
Okay.
And I really enjoyed just being so close to all the different ballparks. You could always find a game.
Little breaking ball grounded out to short. Shot on across the diamond and in time for the out. Seguin makes the play here in the beautiful state of Florida. A couple of Florida teams battling. It's getting close for Chipola. They're up 8.
One, two, three, work!
Yes! Mine bat's better than any other bat I've used last year. This bat just had no pop than any other wood bat that I ever used. Wood bat league gonna go crazy this summer. These bats are absolutely juiced.
Last call in this one, getting late, Chipola, Eastern Florida. Steve Phillips, Darren Sutton at this gorgeous Panama City Beach Sports Complex, where they take advantage of 160 acres, 13 gorgeous fields. They even have cooling technology on the turf. They don't need that now. 9 fields, 4 natural grass fields, 7 batting cages. This is a beautiful spot. Mr. Trowbridge gets the call. Parker Trowbridge from Claremont, Florida. He's a true freshman, 2024 grad.
Bit of a low 3-quarter delivery. Hides the ball a little bit as he sort of the body comes through and his arm sort of jumps on you.
That arm angle's been a win for him, Steve. He said, I feel like I'm just a little bit above sidearm fastball, changeup, slider. He said, I'm pretty consistent with those. I just need to keep working to get my velo up. Mullinax takes a sweeping breaking ball in and off the plate. Want to know the count to Michael, switch hitter. Been on 3 times, hit twice, walked. Scored a couple of runs. Shoots that one foul, 1-1. He has all the actions of a future pro, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he's got all the. That is what it is. Actions, they call it. Just the movements of a baseball player.
Two and one. We were telling our viewers earlier, it's been a pleasure to watch him evolve. Back in the pandemic, 2020, he played in the 14U Select Festival in Oklahoma City. Good pitch, 2-2. Three and two. Wait for a long time for USA Prime, Team Elite later on. Right back to the screen it goes. But that USA Prime team was a big, big part of his journey through the 23 year. Played a couple of times at the Jupiter event. Played up 1 year.
All those experiences are part of the development process that brings him to where he is in this at-bat right now.
And in this at-bat, he is beaten. That left-hander who claims he wants to work on that velo had enough to get it by one of the best JUCO players in the country.
Yeah, nice job, young man, coming in there, a freshman, and getting a rep. And listen, his arm sort of jumps on you at the plate right there, and I think he's got some deception with the velocity. That got by Mullinax right there, and it's not an overpowering fastball, but it's faster than it looks.
And you feel like, where does that tick up and will it tick up? He's a freshman. He's young. You can see he's lean. He plans on adding more to that frame. But he's still living 85, and it played up just fine. That swing and a miss strike through is 85.
Yeah, that's one thing I don't like to force is velocity. I think that you grow into your velocity, and I want you to be a good pitcher, and that just be the best pitcher you can be at whatever velocity you ultimately get to.
Steve, there's a 26. His name is R.J. Cope, and he's 6'8", and he plays for Georgia Premier Academy, and he's finally coming into his own velo-wise. A different kind of a ceiling for sure.
Right.
As that one is a fly ball into right center field. Calling him off is Smith. But the one thing he did, Steve, early on, you could see him playing up in events at 6'8". He knew he had to do his best to play into his athleticism, which he was still learning at 16 years old. It was all pitchability. And what made him so much fun, because he's going to be a PG All-American this year, what made him so much fun was the fact that he was a pitchable guy, no matter that he was throwing 83, 84 at 6'6".
Right.
Then came the velocity, to your point.
Right. and it will come naturally for so many of them. It'll come with development of the delivery, but it's also just the physical development, the coordination of getting all the moving parts going in the same direction.
It's good stuff. Parker Trowbridge, fun to watch him work out there. It's a good opportunity for this left-hander. Just a freshman.
I like the willingness to throw it over the plate.
Yeah. You could sense when he shared his scouting report, he believes in himself in that part of it. He believes in his stuff. I mean, I'm guessing he got a bunch of outs in high school with that stuff.
For sure.
Well, he leaned into that one, and it could have been called strike 3.
Boy, I thought so, too. See Bryce Jackson at shortstop, like, where was it? Vanek sort of leans into it right there and puts his knee out. But, yeah, that may have thrown the umpire off a little bit.
He'll hit it out to that shortstop, bobbles, and then can't recover and throw him out. Bryce was mad about the pitch before, but with a chance to help his teammate out, couldn't do so. He'd love to have another shot at that ground ball.
He would. I don't think he was quite ready for it. And, you know, end of a long day, mentally maybe not quite as focused as he can be.
It's a fun matchup, the power of Sam Parker and this slick left-handed arm. Looked like he went around.
So watching Sam Parker, he's got to, as he gets ready to swing, you watch his wrist sort of cock. You see the bat head sort of move forward. I think he's going to have to clean that up a little bit. See a little waggle at the top there?
I did. How about
a good
Parker?
Fastball could beat him, but he's got a good swing overall.
Yeah, how about you, Parker? My goodness. Plenty enough fastball. He says more velos coming. My friend 85 looked pretty good out there. That's a freshman doing his thing. Beautiful Panama City Beach, Chipola in eastern Florida. Panama City Beach College Baseball Classic. Steve Phillips, Darren Sutton. Yeah, it was funny the other day, Steve, after we went to that great meal at the third spot that we had found, the Runaway Island, that Ferris wheel. That scared you a little bit.
Yeah. I'm not normally a big Ferris wheel guy. Not normally.
Good times, though. Good times were had.
You know who is a big Ferris wheel guy I've heard is Jim Jenks is a big Ferris wheel guy. Yeah, I've heard that about him.
Okay.
Yeah. Our fearless leader.
Jamil Vera. Drove in a run back in the second inning, grounded out in the fourth. He's a different man, Steve, this man on the mound, isn't he?
He's got an attack mode. Like somebody said to him, dude, let's get out there and compete. Let's go get him. And he's changed his whole body language, his whole aggressiveness. His arm speed's better. His tempo's better.
That's a good 0-2 pitch. over the top of that one disappeared. If that was a fastball, that had all kinds of life on it. Almost had like a changeup action to it, but it was pretty firm.
Yeah, good pitch. Good pitch. And when you work ahead in the count, it makes a difference. Hitter gets a little defensive, and that thing just dropped off the table right there. Well done.
Kevin Smith, 0 for 3. Loses his bat. 0-1 the count.
Yeah, if I'm the on-deck hitter, I'm thinking, like, did I say something? Is there something that, did I look at you funny here? That can hurt your wrist a little bit.
He's kind of looking at it. He's eyeing it like there's a little bit of discomfort. Meantime, Dallas is on the rubber, ready to go.
Yeah.
Wraps that one just outside the inside corner. Pretty good pitch. Two and one. Hey, that swing and a miss to Vera. You were on it. That was a changeup, 82 miles an hour.
Nice pitch.
Two and two.
See if we see that change up again right here.
Knee high, strike 3. Drops the bat at home plate, frustrated with the call, but it's a pretty good pitch.
Yeah, that low strike has been called throughout the game. He went with the fastball down, see the target at the knees, threw it at the knees, a little low, but you know what? At this time of the game, you got to go up there hacking. Too close to take.
I would agree. You got to give some credit to Gonzalez too for showing that pitch. Right, he made it easy for Denver to call it a strike. I always talk about those catchers, and here's one hitting Bo Cipolla. Get down to up when you catch the baseball. Cipolla, 0 for 3. Gives that one a ride. Well struck, deep right field. Bo's going to enjoy that tour around the bases. A blast for Bo Cipolla. Wow.
Good for him. You know, I will say that just the way he was taking pitches, he's a baseball player, and he doesn't give up an at bat. It doesn't matter that the score's 13-5 at the time, or 13-6. Doesn't matter. He's not going to give up this at bat. It's his at bat. He's going to own it. And he was concentrating. He was locked in on, got a pitch to get hit, and he unloaded on it. Serious backspin on this one, and wow, that had some yardage on it.
Going to work another aggressive swing. That's a high fly ball. This one will stay in the ballpark, and this one belongs to Chipola. A 13-6 victory. They'll take a look at how the head-to-heads and the standings shake out. They play their pool play games, and they finish with a 2-1 record. But this was just a strong, strong showing for Coach Johnson's team.
It was. Offensively, they got the job done right out of the gate. 3 runs in the first inning, 5 runs in the second inning, and they never looked back. Had quality at-bats, made plays behind them. And look, they didn't throw strikes the whole game, but they made plays behind them. They get the job done, and a big win for Chipola with the hope to advance.
And they'll wait and find out. 1 o'clock Central will have the championship game. We do know this. Indian River State College is in. They will be in the championship game. Could be Chipola, could be Gulf Coast State, could be one of those teams, and we'll see how it all with the head-to-heads, the run totals, the runs allowed shakes out. Either way, go visit perfectgame.org and find that event, the 2025 Visit Panama City Beach College Baseball Classic. Our entire production team, whether it be in Brooklyn, New York, whether it be in California or in Connecticut or Arizona, did a wonderful job today on behalf of Steve Phillips. My name is Darren Sutton. We'll see you at the championship game tomorrow. Have a good night.